Hosted by you/O Fiddlesticks. My 23F friend Kevin, 26M, recently had to move out of a house that he and his family were renting. I've known him since I was about 13, and we've maintained what I thought was a friendship ever since. I've helped Kevin numerous times, picking up groceries for him when he was out of a job and didn't have money, taking him back and forth to work for months at a time. I thought he was my friend, and friends help each other. About 2 months ago, his mom, yes, he still lives at home with his mother, his sister, 19F, and 3 other people who aren't related to him, lost her job, and they could no longer afford the rent. Kevin is currently unemployed and asked if I had anywhere for him to stay and store some of his things. Stupidly, I agreed. I told him he could only stay certain days because I wasn't comfortable with him being there when I wasn't, and I also need time to myself. So it averaged out to him staying about 3 days a week, give or take a day or 2 if I said it was okay. Anyway, he stayed last Friday, and everything seemed fine. Someone picked him up the next morning to go job hunting, and he left. Added to point out, he wasn't really job hunting. He was out with his friend picking up pills and other substances to sell on the side. This is the major reason I want him out of my house. I could overlook the crap talking to keep the peace, but I absolutely will not tolerate being friends with someone who sells substances. Been there, done that. He left his phone. At first, I wasn't snooping. We both had the exact same phone, and his was lying on my computer desk, where mine usually is. I heard it vibrate, so I picked it up, thinking it was mine and that someone had texted me, but I was wrong. The display opened to a conversation he was having with one of his friends, and it was about me. I know I shouldn't have read it, and I wouldn't have if the first text I saw hadn't said, "So, are you still at that Beach's house?" Beach meaning me. I felt hurt, sick to my stomach, and stupidly continued to read the rest of the conversation. Kevin had said horrible things about me. He accused me of lying on days when I said I was busy, claimed I lied about my father having cancer. He does, and it's bad. I'm not sure how much longer he has left, and I spend a lot of time at my parents' house to see him and help my mom care for him. He called me a cunt numerous times, said I was two-faced, said I was a crappy friend, talked crap about my boyfriend, etc. One text read, "The only thing that would make this deal any better is if she started giving me some slop top, but that's not going to happen cause she's so crawled up her boyfriend's rear." It broke my heart because I genuinely thought I was helping him out. Now I see he was just taking advantage of me. So here I am, stuck. Right now, Kevin is staying at a friend's house, and that friend picked up his phone on Saturday, so I didn't see him. I don't know what to do. Apart from about 4 outfits, I have all of his clothes at my house. I also have some of his furniture, well, his mom's, in my storage unit because they're staying with family members. I don't want to bring up anything I read. I understand that it was a violation of his privacy, but it doesn't change the fact that he said those things and that I know about them. This isn't a situation where I intentionally unlocked someone's phone and read every text or Facebook conversation since the dawn of time. I had no intention of looking at his phone and genuinely thought it was mine, until I saw that text. I should have stopped, but I'm glad I didn't because now I know not only what he said but also about the substances. So, how do I explain to him that he needs to get his things and find somewhere else to stay without causing a problem? I don't want to make Kevin mad because I know what he's capable of when he dislikes someone, and it seems he doesn't like me much right now anyway. I really don't want him coming here and destroying my house or something. I'm at a loss. It's not a roommate situation, so I don't have to give him a time frame or anything, but at the same time, I don't want to be a bitch and just tell him to come get his stuff and never speak to me again. I was thinking of telling him that one of my relatives is coming to stay and needs the spare bedroom, but that doesn't solve the issue of his furniture still being in my storage unit. Reddit, do you have any ideas? Update 1 day later. After reading some comments, I decided to stop hesitating and just tell him to come get his stuff. I packed up all of his clothes and the rest of the belongings he had here and waited until my boyfriend got off work. When he arrived, I called Kevin and told him to come get his stuff, that he couldn't stay here anymore, and then hung up. He started texting me. This is pretty much how the conversation went. Kevin, WTF, you know I don't have anywhere to stay tonight. WTF am I supposed to do now? Me, I don't know, maybe get a decent job and keep it so you actually have somewhere to stay instead of couch surfing. Kevin, WTF is that supposed to mean? I didn't think you cared how long I stayed. You have a spare bedroom, it's not like it matters. Me, yes, I have a spare bedroom. I, as in mine. The spare bedroom in my house, that I went to college, got a decent job, and saved up money to afford buying. I didn't buy it so my friends could crash in and live here rent-free. Kevin, fine, be like that. That's a really effed up and beachy thing to do. I'll have my stuff in a few hours, I'm busy right now. So, it ends up being around 1 a.m., and I still haven't heard from him. My boyfriend is getting pissed. He calls Kevin and says, "Look, you have 15 minutes to get here and get your stuff, or it's going out by the road." I get another text from Kevin, calling my boyfriend a douche and accusing me of doing whatever my boyfriend says. Then he adds, "That's why you're kicking me out. You don't give a crap. You're doing it because Josh told you to." Obviously, that isn't true. My boyfriend doesn't care who stays at my house, and he's never been mean or anything to Kevin. I don't text him back, and about 20 minutes later, Kevin and 2 of his friends show up. They all get out of the car and start to come in, but my boyfriend blocks the doorway and tells them they're not coming in and that Kevin's stuff is already packed up. Kevin comes in, grabs his laundry basket of clothes, and starts handing off his things to his friends at the doorway. Before Kevin leaves, he turns to me and says, "This is really effing bullcrap. I thought we were friends." I just said, "So did I," and shut the door. He hasn't tried to text or call me since, but his mom did. She was nice and just asked if I had some time in the next few weeks to meet her at my storage unit to get the rest of her things. I have no problem with his mom, and I'm certainly not going to keep her away from her furniture, but I have no plans at all to talk to Kevin. When asked why he brought 2 friends along. Oh my god, my heart dropped when I saw them get out of the car. I knew both of the guys, though, from going to high school with them, and later realized that the 2 guys live together, and only one of them has a car, so Kevin is most likely crashing with them. I don't think it was a scare tactic, because as soon as my boyfriend told them they weren't coming in, they were both like, "Oh, sorry, man, I understand. We'll wait out here, no problem." They just sat on the porch playing games on their cell phones until Kevin asked them to take his stuff to the car. When told not to go alone to meet the mom at the storage place. Well, she called a few minutes ago and asked if I would be free sometime on Friday because she's found another house to rent. She also started apologizing to me for the way Kevin acted. Apparently, he had gone to her complaining because I wasn't letting him stay, and she told me that she didn't blame me for kicking him out. She even said that if he weren't her only son, she would have dropped him a long time ago. Nevertheless, I don't feel comfortable meeting her by myself, so my boyfriend and his brother are coming with me. More on the texting. The person he was talking to about me used to be a mutual friend that I don't associate with anymore because I don't party, drink, or do substances. The conversation trash-talking me went back months and months. Pretty much every time I've ever hung out with this guy, he's texted this other guy to talk trash. One time in particular, I was talking to Kevin about some family problems, you know, you do that when you're friends, and he had texted this guy our whole conversation and said, "She's such a liar. I don't give a crap what happens in her life." None of it was a lie, and it hurt me to think that the entire time I was spilling my guts and heart out to him, he was just making fun of me.